Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to a blustery Beal City. Chris Bachman with you here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network on our Woods Household pregame show as we get our first look at the back-to-back state champion Beal City Aggies. Yeah, they lost like 8 seniors or something, but still have a ton of contributors back from that team, including Owen McKinney, Kyler Smith, and Mr. Blake Walcott, who we'll see on the mound today as one of the best curveballs I have seen in high school baseball, period. That's coming from his freshman year. Owen McKinney will lead things off for the Aggies playing third base. Let's kind of go through the lineup here on the Woods Household pregame show. Kyler Smith will be playing shortstop, kind of following in his bro's footsteps, taking that over in his junior year. I guess maybe it was, or I guess it is Kyler's sophomore year. I was going to say, I'm trying to remember if Caden took over his freshman or his sophomore year, but it was his sophomore year he started playing at short. Blake Walcott, as I mentioned, will be on the mound for the Aggies. Eric Elias will be batting in the cleanup spot, playing catcher. Walcott, the aforementioned, batting third. Garrison Zucker will be batting fifth, playing in center field. Cole Tillman will be playing second base, batting seventh or sixth. Yeah, the Spockman math, I'm already goofing it up here. Will McClintock, wearing number 3, playing position number 3 at first base, will be batting in the 7th spot. Ryan Bouchon will be batting 8th, playing in left field. And Braxton Bukovich, the star freshman, will be playing out in right field, batting 9th. Going to take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show. When we come back, talk a little bit about this Roscommon lineup and kind of go through this Aggie schedule that they've played so far this year because it has been a bear. You're listening to the Woods Household pregame show here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman back with you, getting ready for our first look at the Beal City Aggie baseball team, the back-to-back defending state champion Beal City team. And as I mentioned, we were going to go through that schedule a little bit here as I pull up the Game Changer. And if you don't have Game Changer, and I'm not at every game, but every game is pretty much on Game Changer if you can go check it out. Obviously, I want you to tune in to me, but similar to the NFHS network, I'm always going to kind of promote that as well. It is a fantastic thing for you to be able to keep up on local high school sports. All right, so this Beal City schedule, they're 6-4 on the year, but it has been just a crazy schedule. They started off playing Division I Okemos. They fell to them twice. Then they split with Division II Shepherd. They won the first one 8-3, lost in the second one 8-2. Then they played Cass City, were able to best them. Then they fell to Division II Freeland. Then they went into conference play, and since then, they've been 4-0, winning 11-1, 16-1, 8-0, and 9-2. Now they take on Roscommon. Every one of these Aggies out here, none of them were alive the last time Beal City didn't win the Highland Conference. And so every Highland game they go into, they're going to face the number one opposing pitcher. They're going to have a big target on their back. And it'll be, I imagine, the coach's son is Coach Man. It'll be Landon Man on the mound for Roscommon. When I looked at their schedule, they had a few low-scoring games, got beat up this past week by Leroy Pine River, but maybe weren't able to throw their number one. Kind of go through their lineup now. Jacob Zybal will be leading things off. He plays short. Batting second, playing second will be Mason Hodnett. Batting third, playing on the mound, will be throwing on the mound is Landon Mann. Batting fourth will be Josh Mays. He plays at third base. Batting fifth will be Owen Barnes. He'll be out in center field. Batting sixth will be Sawyer Griffiths. He's at first base. Batting seventh will be Jack Patchen. He is playing behind the plate. Brendan Gilliam will be batting eighth. Batting ninth will be Brett Van Acker. Here is my stat of the day for you. The last time I called a Beal City Aggie baseball game and they were not victorious, you've got to go all the way back to June 18th of 2022 when they fell in the state finals to Riverview Gabriel Richard. And so I won't call myself a good luck charm for anything because I've done some baseball and softball where it was 3 losses in a row. One for the Beal City boys, one for the Beal City girls, one for the Shepherd girls. So, yeah, I'm not much of a good luck charm, but it's been a while since I've seen these Beal City boys lose. They are a powerhouse. They are expected to win every game they step into, taking on the Roscommon Bucks today, who, again, they're going to be throwing their number one pitcher, Landon Mann. It should be a great battle. We're going to take another break here on the Woods Household pregame show. When we come back, talk more about this Aggie team, in particular, Mr. Owen McKinney, who I awarded the Lisa Antcliffe Jan Wander Scholarship to yesterday. Yeah, a bit of a mouthful, but we'll talk about it all when we come back. It's Beal City Baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this.
Elevate your banking experience. Isabella Bank is your local banking partner. We understand the importance of personalized service, providing solutions that fit your unique needs. When you bank with us, together we can drive positive change and build stronger communities. Experience banking redefined. Make the switch today and experience banking that goes beyond. Isabella Bank. Local. Growing. Staying. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Bryant Family Farms would like to wish everyone good luck on the field and on the court. Bryant Family Farms offers maple syrup, mums, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh cut flowers. With you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Roscommon Bucks now out there warming up, kind of almost like a Padres look out there with the white jerseys, the blue pinstripes, and the blue and the yellow lettering. Beal City is going to be out there in the royal blue and the white pants. It is the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. As you know, we're coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Much love going out to Gates Drilling and Service, Beal's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, along with our friends at Woods Household Appliance, a sponsor of this here pregame show. So Owen McKinney yesterday, I awarded him our Jan Wander, Lisa Antcliffe Scholarship, kind of, paying homage to the two ladies. I'll say this, if it wasn't for Lisa Antcliffe, I wouldn't have got through high school. If it wasn't for Jan Wander, I don't even know if I'd have known this thing, college really existed. And so a big shout out to them. But Owen McKinney, three-time state champ, all-stater, all-conference, regional champ, district champ. But the special stat about Mr. McKinney, when I counted it up, and I think I might even end up being short, because I imagine there was a play or two where Owen McKinney might have stepped down to play defensive end or something like that. We'll have to check in with Coach Gross. But in his 3 sports, he played at 19 different spots. And that is just pretty darn special. That's why he was the recipient of the honor, the first one, and maybe years to come we'll be giving out, more than just one, maybe one to each school or something like that. But Owen McKinney, big shout out to him. It's been so much fun to cover him over the last 3 years. And his teams combined are 156-36. That's 2 years of baseball. That's 3 years of basketball. That's 3 years of football. That's pretty darn impressive. The kid just wins, and I think some of it's got to do with the help that he's had from his teammates and also the great leader that he is. So congratulations to Mr. Owen McKinney. Win that first ever scholarship honoring my friend Elisa Antcliffe and the late great Jan Wander. Doing some warm-up still here with Roscommon. This game was scheduled for a 4:15 start, but as I've learned, some of these games start a couple minutes early here or there, and I'm not going to blame the umpires at all because once everybody's out here, if you're all ready to go, you got to get these games rolling because you never know when that darkness could come here in Michigan. It is a windy, blustery day today. The clouds have kind of rolled in, and the wind is blowing out towards that right center field in that 335 mark, and so hopefully maybe we could see some bombs here today. You don't see as many bombs in high school baseball as you do softball. It's Roscommon, Beal City coming right up. Yesterday was on the air. Fortunate to see the Mount Pleasant Oilers softball team for the first time. And talk about bombs. Morgan Borodachuk, the freshman shortstop, came up with her team down 6-1 and hit a grand salami yesterday to put her team right back in it. Oiler girls ended up going on to win that game 12-9. As I'm watching Roscommon warm up, out there in right field, Brett Van Acker getting some warm-up in. His hat actually blew off his head. That is the type of day it is here. We're going to take another break on our Woods Household pregame show. It's Beal City, Roscommon baseball coming right up. A 4:15 first pitch. We're closing right in on it. It's high school baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't Pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Much love going out to our friends at J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, along with our friends at GNS Mechanical and Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Yeah, the school's closing in at the end of the year, but they're still hiring bus drivers. They need parapros and substitute teachers as well. So go get involved at mtpleasantschools.net to get started with Mount Pleasant Public Schools. And those bus drivers, they have got paid training. They have got full bennies, so go check it out. We finally have the meeting of the minds taking place now here in front of us. Coach Antcliffe walking up to Coach Mann, the two umpires out there. And that is another thing. We need more officials. If you'd like to be an umpire, if you'd like to be an official, I always make the joke, or, well, I guess it's not a joke. Who's got the best seat in the house? Brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. It is those officials out there literally on the field with the players. They have got the best view of everything. If you want to be a referee, it's not bad pay either. Head to MHSAA.com and click on the Be the Referee tab. All right, when we come back, we'll be getting set up for first pitch. Looks like it will be a little bit earlier than 4:15. Due up for Roscommon, it'll be Jacob Zyball, Mason Hodnett, and Landon Mann. On the mound for the Aggies, it'll be Blake Walcott. Behind the plate, Eric Elias at first base, Will McClintock at second, Cole Tillman at short, Kyler Smith at third, Owen McKinney out in left field. I don't even know what light field is, but out in left field, it's Ryan Bouchon. Out in right field, it is Braxton Bukovich, and in center field, Mr. Gary Zucker. Back with first pitch, national anthem, or very close to it when we come back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It's Beal City Baseball. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the fifth generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We are ready for some Beal City Aggie baseball. The Aggies running out onto the field. Bukovich sprinting out to right field. Somebody kind of throwing him an impossible ball to try and catch. He almost snagged it in, though. But it's Braxton Bukovich out and right, out in center. It's Gary Zucker in left. Ryan Bouchon. Yeah, I know I just went through this, but I'm going to do it again. At shortstop, Kyler Smith. At third, Owen McKinney. At second, Cole Tillman. At first, Will McClintock. Behind the plate, it'll be Eric Elias. And the junior pitching star, Blake Walcott, will be on the mound. When I say pitching star, I mean that. This youngster closed out the state championship against a really good Plymouth Christian team his freshman year. I believe last year, as I look over at the Smiths, Caden Smith didn't give him a chance to come in the game as they mercied Norway last year for the back-to-back state championship. And as I said, they started off 6-4 this year, but they've got 2 losses to Okemos, a loss to Freeland, and a loss to Shepherd. So all of their losses are Division II or Division I schools. And if I didn't mention it, they're Division IV. They won't have to see any of those schools come playoff time. Blake Walcott with the final few warm-up pitches out there for the Aggies. Coach Mann headed down to the third baseline. Ready to coach his team up if they get on the base path against Mr. Walcott. I think some more of our sponsors as Walcott finishes up his final warm-up pitches. Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Pier Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, Isabella Bank, Bryant Family Farms, All Seasons Fireworks, The Diner, Block Electric, Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, along with JJ Painting and Martinez Lawn Care. So I've gone through it a couple times. Behind the plate, it's Elias. On the mound, it's Walcott. Due up for Roscommon. We'll say brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial and Clark Modular Homes. It's Jacob Zybal, Mason Hodnett, and Landon Mann. Roscommon coming into this game, I believe 2-8, something like that. Again, not the greatest record, but they haven't had an easy schedule themselves either. They have had some low-scoring games, and so I'm expecting Mann to be their number one today, try and give Beal City all they can handle. Here we go. Walcott is ready on the mound. At the plate is Mr. Zybal. Steps in batting from the right side. And the white pinstripe jerseys are the Bucks of Roscommon. The Aggies out there in the royal blue jerseys with the white pants. First curveball is over for a strike, and that is what makes Mr. Blake Walcott so difficult. There's not a lot of arms. They're going to start off with the bender, the very first pitch of the game. 0-1 the count. Walcott winds and deals. Another curveball. That one is just going to miss inside. 1-1 now the count. Even a more difficult job for the umpires with a guy like Walcott on the mound who's going to just throw a lot less fastballs than you're used to seeing. Third pitch of the at-bat's going to be fouled to the backstop here. 1-2 now the count to Zybal. And Walcott is the type of guy on the mound who could pile up some strikeouts. Righty Walcott. Ready with the 1-2. Zybal at the plate. That one bends but doesn't quite get back over. 2-2 now the count. At some point, we'll try and zoom in a little bit more on the batter. I want to try and keep you seeing the whole field here. It's hard to track that ball. I did my best I could yesterday with some Mount Pleasant softball, but missed a couple plays here and there, so Best bet is kind of try and show you that whole field. Beautiful pitch there for strike three. Looking. Does go with the fastball. It is low and in the zone, and nothing Zyball could do with it. He watches it go by and takes strike three. Here comes Mason Hodnett trying to get something happening for Roscommon. There is one out. Top of the first inning. Beal City or Roscommon. And it's Zybell, not Zyball, pardon me, as I checked the roster I picked up from Game Changer. Hodnett now stepping in, batting from the right side. He is the second baseman. Walcott ready with the sign. Behind the plate is Elias. This one's going to be chopped towards the pitcher. Walcott fields it easily over to first to McClintock in time for the out. So a very easy at-bat there for Walcott. He only needs one pitch. It goes right back to him, and now he'll face his pitching counterpart, Landon Mann, the number 3 hitter here for Roscommon. Typically, it's that top 4 or 5 in high school baseball that are going to be your best batters, but sometimes you got that number 9 hitter that can be a second leadoff guy, in particular when I see Braxton Bukovich down there at the bottom of the order. Inside corner with the curveball. Man just kind of watches that one go by. As we zoom in here a little bit, get a better look here at this curveball of Mr. Walcott if he decides to throw it again. You just see the break that has. Not a lot of high schoolers throwing curveballs like that. 0-2 now the count to Landon Mann. And with nobody on base, no fear here for Walcott or Elias. Try and maybe put one in the dirt, try and get Mann to chase. Elias gets his spot. That one's going to be high, 1-2 the count. Trying to get Mann to chase some high heat there. It's McClintock at first. At second, it's Tillman. At short, Kyler Smith. At third, Mr. Owen McKinney. Walcott deals. This one's going to be hit towards first base. Excellent job of fielding over there by McClintock. He tags the base, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Beal City as they ground it out to first base. Due up for the Aggies, brought to you by our friends at Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, and Bill's Custom Fab. It's Owen McKinney. It's Kyler Smith. It is Blake Walcott. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. First look at the Aggie Bats of the Year when we come back on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan, want to toss the ball around?
No, thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Barberry Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies! Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. We're scoreless. Beal City baseball taking on Roscommon. A 1-2-3 first inning for Blake Walcott on the mound. He also picked up a strikeout. We'll see him batting third, but starting things off, it'll be Mr. Owen McKinney. He's playing at third base. Again, a 3-sport star for Beal City. Coming into today, he has won a total of 162 varsity contests. Just think about that for a minute. 162 games he's won in his high school career when it comes to football, basketball, and baseball. That's pretty darn impressive. Couple more warm-up pitches for the righty man on the mound. And that is one thing that maybe, I don't even want to call it an Achilles heel because they blasted some lefties over the last couple of years, but there just hasn't been a whole lot of left-handers on the Beal City squad the last few years. Owen McKinney will step in, and as I say that, he'll bat from the left side, but he is a righty throwing. Man on the top of the bump. McKinney steps in, batting from the right side. White helmet, royal blue jersey, white pants. Here comes the first pitch. That'll be a curveball. It hit the outside zone. And a nice break on that. Maybe not as much as we saw from Mr. Walcott in the top of the first, but still an excellent first pitch of the game from Landon Mann. Mann's got the sign from Patchen behind the plate. Winds and deals. That one's going to be on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2 now the count. McKinney steps back in. Mann winds and deals. That's going to miss on the outside corner. Good eye there from Owen McKinney. Mann on the mound. Patchen behind the plate. Sawyer Griffiths at first. At second, it's Mason Hodnett. At third, Josh Mays. At short, it is Jacob Zybel. That one's also going to miss outside, so we'll run through the outfield here for Roscommon. Out in left field, it's Brendan Gilliam. In center field, it's Owen Barnes. And out in right field, it's Brett Van Acker. 2-2 now the count after McKinney was originally down 0-2. Going to pull this one up the middle. Not an easy play for second base. It's going to go off the second baseman's hands. And as you'll hear me say, if I can't make the play, I'm not going to think about ruling that one an error. Owen McKinney will reach first base, probably rule it an error in the official scorebook, but your boy's ruling it a single here. Kyler Smith stepping in. And if I know Brad Ancliffe, and I kind of do, will not be surprised here to see Kyler Smith at least show bunt to start off this at-bat, try and move McKinney up to second base. Man checks McKinney at first. Winds deals McKinney going on the first pitch. It's going to go over the head of Kyler Smith. They're actually going to say it nicked him, so he'll be able to take his base via hit by pitch. Probably not how Smith wanted to do it, but he'll take his base down at first. And now the first two runners on for Mr. Walcott. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. Walcott got a 1-2-3 to start the game for Beal. Now looking to get him on the scoreboard here with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. Bottom of the first. Big lead for McKinney at second. The throw back there is not really a quick one. McKinney was able to trot back in. I thought it might be trouble when he just started running back in. Didn't go for the dive. But he's back easily. As Mann whipped around, second baseman Hodnett maybe not there exactly as quickly as he wanted to, and so he decided not to throw it. Could have gone to the outfield. Both runners going here. There will not be a throw from behind the plate. They'll just kind of eat it, and so runners at second and third now for Walcott. And the count is 1-0. Great opportunity here for Beal City in the first part of the ball game. That one's going to come in. Walcott's just barely going to duck out of the way of it. And you'll hear Brad Ancliffe from time to time say wear it when it comes to things, but you don't want Walcott to wear that one because it would have been on his helmet. 2-0 the count. Mann winds and deals. Holding off is Walcott. That's also going to miss high. 3-0 now the count. Last thing you want to do if you're Roscommon is put the first three batters on. And I'll say it a few times today, this Beal City team has never lost the Highland Conference in the last 20 years. Every one of these guys out there, they have never, when they come here for games, they've never seen Beal City lose the Highland Conference. And so you're going to have supreme confidence. And when you're coming in against Roscommon, if it is your Roscommon, you're just kind of saying, oh, here comes Beal City again. But you can't start the game off this way if you want to try and take down the champs. Bases are loaded, full of Aggies. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Eric Elias is going to be over for a strike. Nice bender that time from Mann that broke over the zone. Elias says, I'll wait for something else. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to miss high 1-1. And another thing to think about, you might hear the wind blowing some here and there. I'm fortunate enough to be in a press box here, but out there on the mound, it's got to be a little nippy out there. Here comes the 1-1. This one's going to be roped in between second and first base. One run is in. Kyler Smith is rounding third. He'll be in easily. We have got a RBI or a 2 RBI single there for Mr. Elias. And the Aggies are on the board and in business. McKinney scores. Kyler Smith scores, moving up to third base as Walcott with some nice base running. Runners now at the corners, and we have a pinch runner coming in for Eric Elias as he is the catcher. Coming in to run for Mr. Elias is going to be Cooper Scarborough. And things don't get any easier on the mound if your man stepping to the plate is the all-sport star Gary Zucker, playing in center field for Beal City. 2-0 our score here. That runner at first, that runner at third. Again, I know Coach Antcliffe well. I would not be surprised to see Scarborough go here, and then you'll see Blake Walcott coming from home. He doesn't care if Scarborough falls on the ground, does whatever. Just make sure you can get that out. And knowing that behind the plate is Josh Patchin, so he'll just kind of eat it and let the runner take second base. Problem with that is there's still nobody out. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position for Gary Zucker. That's going to miss on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Zucker steps back in. Man checks that runner at second, not really holding him on. Let me strike 2. As I say that with a runner at third base, can't really steal second to third if you're Scarborough. Walk out with a small lead, kind of over into the grass for Beal City, just out of view on the camera. 2-0 the score. Here comes the 1-2 to Zucker. He's going to pop this one out of play. Cole Tillman is on deck. Will McClintock behind him. Then Ryan Bouchon and Braxton Bukovich. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Runners at second and third for Beal City. Zucker at the plate. There is still nobody out. We're on the 5th batter. Landon man winds and deals. Zucker's going to rope this one out towards right center field. It will get down. It'll get up against the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Zucker is charging for third, and he will be in with a 2 RBI triple. So the Aggies load him up, and your number 4, number 5 hitter knock him in. That's exactly what you want. Eric Elias with the 2 RBI double, and now it's Gary Zucker with the 2 RBI single for Elias, and now a 2 RBI triple for Gary Zucker. Cole Tillman steps up to the plate, 4-0. Still nobody out for Beal City. That first one's going to miss high. Say Zucker with a small lead over there. Ready if the ball does squirt away from the catcher to zoom in there for another run. That one also misses. 2-0 the count to Cole Tillman. Tillman, the senior, playing second base. Big part of the basketball team. Went all the way to the regional championship. This one's going to be hit in between short and third. Zucker's going to come in to score, and the Aggies just continue to roll here in the bottom of the first inning. It's the RBI single for Tillman to bring in Zucker. The first 5 batters of this inning have already come around to score. Got a runner on first base. It's Cole Tillman for the number 7 hitter, Will McClintock. 5-0 the score. And if you're Coach Mann, at what point do you not stick with Landon Man out there around the mound? And I expect he is their number 1 arm, but this is the Beal City team and what they've been able to do here in the Highland Conference. Stealing, standing up is Cole Tillman. I tell you what, if you would have got called out on that one, we might have heard Brad Antcliffe here from the press box as he doesn't go for the slide there. But when you're safe, there's not really a whole lot of complaining that can happen. 5-0 the score as Tillman takes second base. McClintock steps back in, batting from the left side, with a chance to drive in a run. That one's going to be way outside. 2-1. Check that runner at second. They wind and deal. That's going to be over for a strike. 2-2 now the count. 2-2 the count. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. The Aggies have already put up a 5 spot. That's going to miss outside to McClintock. It'll run the count full. Oh, and that's actually a 2-2, and I think that's actually my bad up here, jumping the gun there. 2-2 the count. McClintock steps back in. Get batting from the left side. Runner at second base. Tillman dances away. It's going to miss outside. Thinking about throwing it all the way down to second base behind the plate was Patchen, but he'll kind of hold it. Tillman does retreat back to second base. Full count now to McClintock. And if you're man here, you just got to throw a strike. Cannot walk another batter here. And it will be a called third strike on the corner. Tillman will take third base, but a big-time strikeout there just when they needed it for Roscommon. Ryan Bouchon will now step to the plate. The left fielder, Braxton Bukovich on deck. Still just one out here in the bottom of the first inning. The Aggies already put up a 5 spot, a high 5 on the board. Love going out to our friends, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, a Berry Funeral Home, Mid-Michigan Industries, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, and Rick's Food Center. First pitch of the at-bat's going to be high, 1-0 to Bouchon. Man from the right side, he steps back in. Big swing and a miss that time. Swinging for the fences with Bouchon. And with that wind blowing out, that 3:15 mark out there in right field is definitely reachable on a day like today. 1-1 the count, 1 out, bottom first inning. This one will be hit towards third. It'll get through the gap, turning around, coming back into home is Cole Tillman. And it was a good piece of base running by Tillman there to make sure the ball got through the infield. And Ryan Bouchon with the RBI single. It is now 6-0. Beal City here in the bottom of the first inning. Braxton Bukovich stepping to the plate. The number 9 hitter, not your typical number 9 hitter, other than the young man is a freshman, but if you remember what he did on the football field, he's not very freshman-like, if that makes any sense. Stealing all the way is Bouchon. The ball is going to sail to the outfield. He's now going to be able to take third base. And a very smart job out in center field by Owen Barnes. He thought for a second about trying to gun it to third, but knows, you know what, if I do that, that'll score another run. So now Bouchon at third. Bukovich will step back in, 1-0 the count. It's already 6-0 Beal City. And it'd be a crazy double play to end the inning here, but that would be the only way we don't see Owen McKinney for a second time here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to miss outside. 2-0 now the count to Bukovich. Infield playing in a bit. Now 3-0 the count to Braxton Bukovich. Checks down the first baseline. Gets a sign from Coach Antcliffe. You know it's windy when Coach Antcliffe has the jacket on out there. That one's also going to miss a 4-pitch walk to Braxton Bukovich. Again, he's not your typical number 9 hitter, but with Owen McKinney up next, that's not what the doctor ordered, per se, for Roscommon. Through the order, poor Will McClintock was the only young man who did not reach base, but I'm sure he's going to have an opportunity to make up for it. 6-0 the score. Owen McKinney up for the second time here at the bottom of the first inning. Runners at the corners for the senior. Runner goes. They fake the throw. Bukovich has second base, and he got a great jump out there. If Patchen throws it down there, it's not going to get him safe, and he might have been able to bring in Bouchon from third. McKinney's going to check his swing on that one and foul it back. 1-1 now the count. It's at least 4, 5, 6 stolen bases now as well here in the bottom of the first inning as well. Everybody that's got on first for Beal, if they've needed to, if they've been able to try and take second, they've been able to. That one will be inside. 2-1 to McKinney. Kyler Smith on deck. He was hit by a pitch his first time up and came around to score. That will be a theme through the Beal City lineup. 6-0 is the count. 2-1 to McKinney. That one's going to miss way outside. 3-1 now the count. And McKinney throws right, batting from the left side, steps in. Here comes the 3-1 for Mann. That'll just be on the outside corner for strike 2. McKinney singled, came around to score for the first run of this ball game. It's already 6-0 Beal City. Bottom of the first inning. Still one out. Runners at second and third. McKinney's going to foul this one off to stay alive. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming up here for McKinney. And on the mound, Landon Mann. Sweet pitch number 40 or 41 already here in the first inning. McKinney takes ball 4 and takes his base. They are loaded up for Kyler Smith. Now we're going to have time, and it does look like we will have a pitching change. I think coming in from center field will be Owen Barnes. So the bases are loaded, full of Aggies. We are still in the bottom of the first inning. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, we'll see if the Aggies can continue to do damage here in the first inning on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, just like our student athletes, they bring it. If you need sand or gravel, they bring it to you with fast service and a great price. For all of your sand and gravel needs, call Central Michigan Sand and Gravel today at 989-382-7089. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, a proud supporter of our student athletes competing for their schools. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Some changes being made. Owen Barnes coming in from center field to try and take on the very, very difficult task. There's one out. Bases are loaded full of Aggies here in the bottom of the first inning, and they already lead it 6-0. You know Beal City's good, but I think even if you're Coach Antcliffe, you don't really dream of going through the lineup one time and there's only one out. Let's kind of run through that. Old McKinney came up to start the game. Single, stole a base. Kyler Smith was hit by a pitch. Blake Walcott was walked, so the bases were loaded for Eric Elias. He hit a 2 RBI single, moving Walcott up to third, bringing in Smith and McKinney. He then stole second base, so it was runners at second and third for Garrison Zucker, who hit a 2 RBI triple. Cole Tillman came up after him. He singled, brought Tillman in to score. Tillman stole second and third on an error as Will McClintock was going down on strikes. That brought up Ryan Bouchon, who had an RBI single. Braxton Bukovich then walked, stole second base as Bouchon moved up to third on a stolen base. McKinney walked, and here we are, second at-bat of the inning for Kyler Smith. Although technically he's 0 for 0 on the day with a hit by pitch. First pitch of the at-bat from Barnes is going to miss 1-0. And I always talk about what you learn playing high school sports that you can't learn in the classroom. Well, if you're Owen Barnes, there's never a time where a teacher's going to come up to you and say something like, hey, you've got a 1 in 10 chance of getting a D even on this paper or something like that, but you've got to do your best. This is just a really difficult situation for Mr. Barnes to come into. But as I say, what this prepares him for is the rest of life, because life will beat up on you just like this Beal City Aggie offense will. 2-1 now, the count for Barnes. And Landon Mann did all he could, but just such a potent Beal City offense. They have came to hit here today and have a very patient eye at the plate. 2-2 now, the count to Kyler Smith. And one thing I will give Barnes, he definitely does have a bit of a different pitching motion than you're used to seeing that will throw off some batters from here to there. That one's going to miss. It'll run the count full 3-2. And that's what you don't want if you're Barnes, is to walk the first batter you see and then also bring in a run. 3-2. It's going to be sent out towards right field. Not an easy play, and that wind is going to carry it over the head of Van Acker. It's going to be multiple bases for Kyler Smith, and actually goes up against the fence. And so I think they're going to rule it an RBI double. The right fielder, I think he may have said it went through the fence out there. Oh, it's going to be a ground rule double, and so that'll leave the runner at third. And the only thing you're mad about there for Kyler Smith is he should have had 3 RBIs instead of 2 RBIs on that 2 RBI double. But the bats continue to roll for Beal City. Bouchon is in. Bukovich is in. McKinney's at third. Smith is at second. It's 8-0. Walcott steps back up to the plate for his second at-bat of the bottom of the first inning. Runners at second and third. And there's still just 1 out. First pitch is going to miss to Walcott. Kyler Smith knew he was going to see something to hit there with the bases loaded in the full count. Boy, did he take advantage. This one will be hit towards third, and not an easy play, but it's fielded nicely by Myers over, not in time for the out. Having to come off the bag was Sawyer Griffiths. And so reaching base, again, that's a tough one there. I'm still going to rule that a single for Mr. Walcott, but the bases are loaded. And here's a scenario for you. This is the second time in the first inning that Eric Elias has come up with the bases loaded. That's pretty darn rare. Catcher steps in, ready to go, outside on the first pitch. Elias took advantage of coming up with the bases loaded his first time with a 2 RBI single. 8-0 already the score here in the bottom of the first inning. The Beal City Aggies have batted around, and there's still only 1 out as Elias takes the next one. 2-0 the count. Good job by Patchen keeping that one in front of him with the bases loaded full of Aggies. Here comes a 2-0. Hot shot down the third baseline that'll go foul. Garrison Zucker on deck. He's already got a 2 RBI triple in this inning. Elias steps back in, ready to go. Sends this one down the third baseline once again. Counts now 2-2. Two and two the count, 8-0 the score. That one's also in the dirt, 3-2. And I might actually have to ask Rick Smith of a favor here, because I might see 17 on the board for the girls over there in the first inning. And so he's going to be kind enough to lean out the window and see if he sees the same thing I do, because holy moly. So the boys here are up 8-0 in the bottom of the first, but the girls, not to be outdone, are already up 17-0 over on the softball field. Woo! The wind is working in the favor of the Aggies today. I don't know what else to say. They have got 25 runs combined from baseball and softball. Make it 26 as Elias takes the walk with the bases loaded. Coming in to score is McKinney. Moving up to third is Smith. Moving up to second is Blake Walcott. And here comes Garrison Zucker. Scarborough's going to come back in to run for Eric Elias. I guess so Eric Elias technically didn't come in to score that run after his 2 RBI single. But what a start for Beal City. 9-0 the score. The base is still loaded. Garrison Zucker now at the plate. Ball one to the all-sports star, the junior. Standing on the football field, basketball court, and here on the diamond. Here comes the 1-0. That one's going to bounce away from the catcher. Zipping in to score, sliding in safely is Kyler Smith. Young man got a face full of dirt sliding in there, but he doesn't care as he heads to the dugout. The Aggies lead it 10-0. They've put up double digits here in the first inning. Walcott's moved up to third. Scarborough has moved up to second, running for Elias as Zucker steps back in. Had a 2 RBI triple his first time up. And the way baseball and softball goes, 3 innings, 15-0 is the first time there can be a mercy. I've never seen 15 put up in 1 inning, but we've already seen it on the softball field. And I don't want to say we're in danger of it happening here because still got 5 more runs to go. But the way the bats are working for Beal City, whoo, man. Count now 2-1 to Zucker. That's going to stay inside 3-1. Cole Tillman on deck. He has already come around to score once this inning as well. Big cut that time for Zucker, swinging for the fences or looking for another triple there. He'll now run the count full to 3-2 to Gary Zucker. Runners at second and third for Beal City. That's going to be in there for strike 3, so Zucker will go down on strikes. The only 2 outs of this inning have been Will McClintock and Gary Zucker, and it seems weird to say the only 2 outs of this inning, but that's the only thing I can really say when Cole Tillman, the number 6 hitter, is coming up for a second time this inning. That first pitch is going to miss high, 1-0 the count. Tillman had an RBI single, stole a base, came around to score his first time up here in this inning. That one's going to miss, 2-0 now the count. Will McClintock on deck. He struck out his first time up. This one's going to be hit hard towards center field, and with that wind, it's going to be a tough play out there. Gathering underneath it to make the catch is going to be Mr. Mann, I'm assuming. Just has him as center field here on the Game Changer, and he actually has a jacket on, so I can't even see the number. That will mercifully bring this first inning to an end. So on the softball field, I see 19 now. Here on the baseball field, it's 10. 29 runs for Beal City, at least here in the first inning against Roscommon. That's what you call a couple powerhouse programs. We're going to be back with more Beal City Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It is the top of the second inning. Our score is 10-0, Beal City with the lead. 3 at-bats. It was 3 up, 3 down for Roscommon in the top of the first. 15 at-bats for Beal City. Comes a breaking ball. It's going to be grounded towards short. Nice job by Kyler Smith fielding it. He uses the gun to get it over to first in time for the outs. Josh Myers goes down as he grounds out to short. I'll talk about it a few more times. Just a difficult situation if you're these Roscommon kids coming up to bat now in this situation. Obviously, you got the confidence if you're playing baseball that you're going to be able to go up there and get yourself a hit. Just when it's 10-0, just difficult situation. Same thing over there on the softball field for those Roscommon ladies. But these are the life lessons you learn playing high school baseball that really teach you how tough life can be going forward and be able to handle it a lot better. And Beal City was in a couple of these situations earlier this year. They got beat up pretty good by Okemos, so I'll say it again, Division I team. Big swing and a miss there. 1-1 now. The count's Owen Barnes. Start at center field. Came in to pitch for Roscommon. Walcott. Ready. Deals. When you get low in the strike zone, he's just going to miss. But that's where you want to miss, though, if you're Blake Walcott, is low in that strike zone. 2-0 the 2-1 the count here. We're in the top of the second inning. The Beal City Aggies lead at 10-0 over Roscommon. Big swing and a miss there. 2-2 now the count. Sawyer Griffiths on deck. Jack Patchin behind him for Roscommon. 1 out, top of 2. Walcott struck out 1 in the first, looking for another punch out here. And he'll get it as Barnes goes down on strikes. Sawyer Griffiths now stepping up to the plate again. It's 10-0 Beal City with the lead. If they're up by 15 after 3, that is it. So if you're Roscommon, the way the bats worked for the Aggies in the first, you got to get something going. Walcott ready with the first pitch of the at-bat. Pending out of the way is Sawyer Griffiths, but it breaks back over for a strike. That just tells you the kind of stuff Walcott's got on the mound. 0-1 to count. 2 outs here, top of the second inning. Swing and a miss on that one for Griffiths. Walcott has already struck out 2. He's looking for 6 up, 6 down now. As Griffiths is behind in the count, 0-2. Walcott winds, deals, Bender, he gets another strikeout. So it's 6 up, 6 down for Roscommon. And, well, you know what happened in the first inning for Beal City. They put 10 on the board. Due up for the Aggies, brought to you by our friends at Barberry Law, Gates Drawing and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, and the Bird All-American Grill. It's Will McClintock, Ryan Bouchon, and Braxton Bukovich. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Here we go, bottom of the second inning. Beal City putting up a 10 spot in the first. They essentially just need 5 more runs through this inning and the next inning to get the mercy. But if you are Owen Barnes on the mound, you're telling me to go stick it somewhere because you do not want that to happen. Stepping in, batting from the left side is going to be the first baseman, Will McClintock. On the mound, Barnes, again, wearing the white jerseys, the pinstripes. He's got the yellow sleeve on there, his pitching arm. The navy lettering with the yellow outline for Roscommon. Beal City out there in their traditional royal blue, the white letters and the white pants, white helmet. 1-0 the count to McClintock as that first one misses. Second one also going to miss outside. McClintock digs in, pretty much right on top of the plate, batting from the left side. That one's also going to miss. 3-0 now the count. Ryan Bouchon on deck. He singled, drove in a run, came around to score in the first. McClintock will reach base this time via walk, and we'll see if he can come around to score. He was the only Aggie in the first inning to not score a run. Kind of just a fun stat there for you. Ryan Bouchon now stepping up to the plate. He's batting from the right side, wearing number 10. Barnes digs back in on the hill. Behind the plate. They check that runner over at first base. And back easily is McClintock. And every runner that's been on first for Beal City has taken second base if it's been open. Big league for McClintock. Doesn't go on the first one. Kind of dares the catcher to throw it over there. Patching gives him a stare down. Bouchon goes back. Or pardon me, McClintock goes back. The count is 0-1 to Bouchon at the plate. You know, we're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Checking his swing that time was Bouchon. It'll be strike 2. Bouchon steps back in. Big lead for McClintock over at first. They throw it back. He dives back easily. Gets away from the first baseman, but not far enough to make McClintock think about getting up and trying to take second base. Bouchon steps back in. 0-2 the count. Check that runner at first. This one's going to be hit towards second base. It's going to get by second base. Scooting into second is McClintock. Bouchon with his second single of the game, and the first 2 base runners are on again here for Beal City. Now on the top of the second after they put up 10. Yes, 10 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Bukovich walked, came around to score in the first. After him, we're back to the top of the order with Owen McKinney. This will be McKinney's, well, he walked one time, so only technically one at bat, but be his third plate appearance of the day already here in inning number 2. Bukovich takes ball 1. Freshman batting from the left side, steps back in. Takes a big swing at that one. 1-1 now the count. Nice job pulling the string on that one on the mound from Owen Barnes. Runners dance away from first and second. Infield playing back. This one's going to be sent deep to right field. At least being able to tag from second base will be Will McClintock. Moving up to third is McClintock. Call that a sac fly there for Bukovich as he moves up the runner. Now 1 out here, bottom of the second inning. Stepping up to the plate, we're going to have a substitution coming in to hit for Owen McKinney is going to be Jake Upton. And so with the lead, Coach Antcliffe saying, you know what, let's get some of these other guys in here. And as you heard me say, Owen McKinney has won 162 games in his varsity career. He can go take himself a little bit of a rest over there on the bench. Ryan Batchelder and the crew. Also looks like warming up, getting ready to maybe hit for Kyler Smith as well, is going to be Jordan Weber. So here comes Upton stepping in. Runners at the corners, taking second base before the pitch even goes. A great piece of base running out there for Bouchon. He takes second. Well, I guess he would have taken second base, but that's ultimately fouled off, so now he'll have to go back. Upton steps back in, batting from the right side. 0-1 to count. Runners at the corners. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Beal City already leads it 10-0. Checking the runners is Barnes. Maybe just wanted to reset things. Steps back in. Taking second base is Bouchon. It's going to get away from the catcher. A good job covering home plate by the pitcher. Owen Barnes will not allow that runner from third base to come in. But Bouchon does have second base now. Upton stepping back in. It's 10-0 Beal City here in the bottom of the second inning. This one's going to be hit hard towards short. Chance for a double play. Diving back in time, though, is Bouchon. A great catch out there at the shortstop from Jacob Zybel. That one was smoked right at him by Upton. He's able to get that glove up and make the catch. That was kind of one of those save your life catches right there, because if he doesn't bring that in, he's probably going to be leaving this game with a pretty nasty bruise. Now stepping in is Jordan Weber hitting for Kyler Smith. Nice job by Patchen keeping that one in front of him as it goes in the dirt. 1-0 the count now to Jordan Weber. And give credit, the 4 plate appearances for the 1-2 hitters for Beal City, Owen McKinney and Kyler Smith that started this game. Scored 4 runs in the first inning for you. That's pretty darn good. I think they deserve a little bit of a break the rest of the way. 2-0 now the count to Weber. That one's also going to miss. 3-0 the count to Weber. It does look like Scarborough will also be hitting for Blake Walcott. We'll see if that brings his day to an end on the mound with just 2 innings. But a solid 2 innings out there for Walcott, striking out 3. Three and 1 now the count. Weber steps back in. That one's going to miss. He'll take his base. So the bases are loaded now for Cooper Scarborough coming in to hit. Already seen Scarborough run a couple times for Eric Elias. Now getting a chance here at the dish. Big cut at that first one. 0-1 the count. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The bases are loaded full of Aggies. They put 10 runs up in the first inning. They could put a couple more up here if Scarborough could send this one to the outfield. That's going to bend back over the zone for a strike. 0-2 now the count to Cooper Scarborough. And he's now hitting in the number 3 spot. Blake Walcott started the game there and on the mound. We'll see if he comes back out to pitch in inning number 3. That one's going to miss. High and outside. Scarborough steps back in from the right side, waits for the 1-2. He's going to send this one foul. Looked like it might have gone inside on him, but it was breaking back over the zone. He swung at it the last second, was able to foul it down the third baseline. Here comes the 1-2. This one's going to be hit high towards right center field. Again, with that wind, with that sun, not an easy catch, and it's not going to be able to be made. Coming in to score for Beal City is McClintock, is Bouchon, along with Mr. Upton. So 3 more runs come across, and I'm going to give a 3 RBI credit there to Scarborough because that play out there in right field right now is not easy to make. It's very sunny. You've heard me talk about the wind. It is very, very windy. Now stepping up to the plate for the Beal City Aggies is going to be Mr. Hunter McDonald. And a big shout out to Hunter McDonald. I did the documentary about the Beal City state title run. He was so great. Sit down and interview to hear his thoughts on that run. First pitch is going to break over for a strike, 0-1. So after the 3 RBI double from Scarborough, it's now 13-0 Beal City here in the bottom of the second inning. McDonald looking to take that one over the fence. 0-2 now the count as he almost swings out of his shoes. Sophomore steps back in, batting from the right side. They check that runner at second. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Going down on strikes is McDonald. But 3 more runs come across for Beal City. It's 13-0 as we head to the third inning. It's 7, 8, 9 due up for Roscommon. Patchen, Gilliam, and Van Acker will say brought to you by our friends at J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, and Konwinski Construction. Back with more Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Cooper Scarborough taking over on the mound. Well, what do you say about 2 innings from Blake Walcott? He got him to go 6 up, 6 down. He had 3 strikeouts through 2. But if you're Coach Antcliffe, there's much more important games that you're going to need him in. So he's going to get a break, and there's going to be a whole lot of new guys out there playing defense as well for Beal City. Once things kind of get completely reset, we'll talk about it. It's going to be Cooper Scarborough on the mound, Hunter McDonald behind the plate, Parker Sienkiewicz at first, Cole Tillman at second, Jordan Weber's now at short, Jake Upton is at third, Bouchon in left field, Mr. Drew Gross is out in center, and Tyson is out in right field. Here we go. Stepping up to the plate is Patchen. He's been pretty good behind the dish. Again, he hasn't thrown out a whole lot of runners, but I don't expect a whole lot of catchers to throw out a whole lot of runners at second base. But a number of times, try keeping things in front of them when they were squirting away. Things were in the dirt. Here comes the 1-0 from Scarborough. That one will be high. 2-0 now the count. And if you're Cooper Scarborough, only thing you got to do out there is throw strikes, and that's obviously easier said than done. Here comes a 2-0. That one is right down the middle for a strike. And a great opportunity also here if you're Coach Antcliffe to just get some more arms, some experience out there. 13-0 is the score. We are in the top of the third inning. Kind of chasing that one inside was Patchen. I think he expected that one to break back in. Swung out of that one way out of the box. Counting out 2-2 for Scarborough. That one's going to be outside. It's going to go to the backstop, but nobody on base, so that's time to let it go to the backstop. 3-2 the count now to Patchen. So Roscommon still looking for their first base runner of the ball game, but Blake Walcott, 2 solid innings for Beal City. He is now chilling, and there's a 20 spot on the board over on the softball field. It's 13-0 here. Last I saw from Rick Smith, it was 21-1 over on the softball diamond. As I take a glance over there, I do see zeros back up on the board, so maybe they were able to finish that one out. So they'll be getting ready to start game number 2 over there on the softball field. Roscommon hoping to get a couple runs across here in the top of the third inning to keep this game going as long as they can. 1-0 now the count here to Gilliam. On first base is Patchen. First base runner of the game for the Bucks. Dances away from first, being held on by Parker Sienkiewicz. Scarborough, a great pitch that time. Down the middle, but nice and low in the strike zone. Again, with all those substitutions, Scarborough's now on the mound. McDonald behind the plate. Sienkiewicz at first. It's Higgins at second. Weber at short. Upton at third. Leonard out in left field. Gross in center. And Tyson out in right. That one will get by the catcher. It will be a stolen base there for Patchen. Count now 2-1 for Gilliam. 13-0 the score here. Top of the third inning. Still nobody out. First runner in scoring position of the day for Roscommon. Scarborough winds and deals. It's going to be nice and low for a strike. 2-2 now the count to Brendan Gilliam. Van Acker's on deck. Then it's Zybel back to the top of the order here in the third inning. Check that runner at second. Scarborough, the righty, winds and deals. Swing and a miss. Going down on strikes is Gilliam. A nice pitch on the outside corner there. Maybe a little outside of the corner, but got Gilliam to chase on the 2-2 count. Brett Van Acker now stepping up to the plate. Van Acker kind of leans right over the dish. Kind of more of a leaning stance than you usually see at the plate, though. Usually most guys are straight up or they're kind of squatted down into the box. He's kind of got that lean over a little bit, does Van Acker. Missing on the first pitch is Scarborough, 1-0 the count. Runner at second. Van Acker swinging at that one and swings through it, 1-1. Blake Walcott started the game on the mound for Beal City. He got him to go 6 up, 6 down through 2, with the Aggies putting up 13 through 2. Coach Antcliffe saying, you know what, you did very well today, Mr. Walcott. And continuing the great action is Mr. Scarborough as he gets Van Acker to swing at that one as well. Now the count's 1-2. Scarborough looking for back-to-back strikeouts here after giving up a walk to his first batter. That'll be fouled over the backstop. Anchor steps out, takes a practice swing. And I feel like almost like a Padres look out there for the Bucks. The white shirts and the pinstripes, and you think Yankees pinstripes are not as thin pinstripes, kind of a little bit more like you see the old Padres with Tony Gwynn. Winding and dealing with Scarborough. And there is punch out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Scarborough. Here comes Jacob Zybel back to the top of the order for Roscommon. And feeling you're going to get a run across. This is probably your best opportunity with your leadoff guy, one of your best hitters now at the plate, and that runner at second base. If the Aggies score 2 runs here in the bottom of the third, that would be it. Scarborough checks the runner at second, winds, deals. Bender doesn't break back over. Really good job there, reaching out and catching that one by Hunter McDonald. He kind of almost reached in front of the batter there. Looked like that might have been coming in to hit the batter, but McDonald kind of reached out there and snagged it before it could. 13-0 the score. Beal City with the lead. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning, 1-0 count. Really confusing Zybel on that one was Scarborough. 1-1 now the count. Scarborough walked the first batter he saw, Jack Patchen. And now back-to-back strikeouts with Gilliam and Van Acker. The Aggies with a dominant performance here so far against this squad. But kind of getting one-upped over on the softball field as softball wins it 21-1-3. I'm going to kind of assume was the final over there. 2-1 the count to Zybel. Scarborough checks that runner at second. Bounces that one in there. Taking third base is Patchen. Nice job chasing that one down by McDonald. That one got ways away there. Patchen almost thought about turning around third. Scarborough trots back out to the mound. Now behind in the count, 3-1. That runner at third base, I don't think you really got to worry about him. He's not going to take much of a lead. The last thing you can do at third base is if you're Patchen is get caught leading off. This one's going to be fouled back, and that'll run the count full for Zybel. Chance for Scarborough to strike out the side here. On deck is Mason Hodnett. And he'd love to get himself another opportunity because the Aggies put up 2 runs in the bottom of the third. That'll be it. Scarborough checks that runner at third. Here comes the 3-2. It's just going to miss outside, so it'll be a walk for Zybel. Now runners at the corners for Roscommon with Mason Hodnett heading up. He grounded out to the pitcher on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. 13-0 our score. In the first inning, the Aggies absolutely rolled, putting up a 10 spot. Then in the second inning, they were able to put up 3 more. Every Aggie that started the game has scored a run. Everyone in the first but McClintock, but then Mr. McClintock was able to score a run here in inning number 2. Runner goes. McDonald fakes it down to second. Just dares that runner to try and come in from third, but they know the play as well, so Zybel will go to second base. But a nice job in McDonald holding that ball, trying just daring Patchen to jump away a little bit further from third. 13-0 the score. Hodnett at the dish. Heading to count 1-0. Kind of holds that bat back a ways like you could see in a cartoon or something. That one's going to miss on the outside corner. 2-0. On deck is Landon Mann, who started the game for Roscommon. I don't think it would have mattered who started the game for the Bucks. The Aggie bats were just a-rolling in inning number 1. Nice location that time from Scarborough. 2-1 now the count to Hodnett. Runners at second and third. 13-0 is the score. Bucks would love to get 1 or 2 across to make it a little bit more difficult for a Beal City to get the mercy in inning number 3. This one's popped up. Over at third base, Upton calls everybody off. He's not able to make the catch. 1 run is in, but the other runner kind of held up at third base for Roscommon. Kind of a big base running mistake there by Zybel, but he's now at third. Coming in to score is Patchen, and a run is on the board for Roscommon. It's 13-1 here in the top of the third inning. Landed man now stepping up to the plate. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. Top third. 13-1 now the score. They fake checking that runner over at first. Then they throw it over. Fake to the runner at third. Then they go over to first. They just couldn't quite get the tag down on time. Sliding back in safely was Hodnett. At the plate is man. Scarborough winds, deals. First pitch is over for a strike. Landed man ended the first inning by grounding out to first base. Scarborough winds and deals. This one's going to be hit towards third. It's going to be off the glove and almost an awesome catch by Upton, but another run will come in, and it'll be an RBI single for Landon Man. Now runners at first and second. As it wasn't a hard hit ball, weren't really able to advance too many runners, but it's now 13-2. Roscommon making something happen here in inning number 3. Here comes the cleanup hitter, Josh Myers, with a pair of runners on. Both these runs have come in with 2 outs as well. This inning started with a Jack Patchin walk, and then it was a pair of strikeouts. Zeibel walked, and it was a high pop single, not an easy play at third base that ultimately got down to bring in a run. Then an RBI single from Landon Man moments ago. 13-2 is the score here in the third. Josh Mays at the dish. 1-0 the count. Scarborough checks that runner at second. Some high heat there, swinging right through it was Mays. You know, in this situation, Scarborough on the mound and Cliff just going to tell him, hey, man, go deal with a little bit of adversity out there. It is going to make you better later. 13-2 the score. They look to check that runner at second base. Diving back in time is Hodnett. And out in the outfield, got Leonard in left, Drew Gross in center, Tyson out in right, Upton at third, Weber at short. This one's going to be grounded towards third. Upton coming in to make the play. Zings it over to first base. Beating out the throw, though. Great hustle from Josh Mays. So it'll be an infield single from Mays there. And now the bases are loaded full of Bucks with Owen Barnes stepping up to the plate. He struck out in the second inning against Mr. Blake Walcott. Now the bases are loaded full of Bucks, 13-2. Now if you're Roscommon, you're thinking just a little bit about possibly making a comeback. First pitch is going to be over for a strike to Barnes. And also, though, if you're Coach Ancliffe, you love getting everybody out here to get some experience, and in particular, experience a little bit of adversity here as well. This one's going to be hit up the middle, not an easy play at second, over to short in time for the out. That will take us to the bottom of the third inning. But Roscommon does a little damage. They get a couple runs on the board, and to try and give you the batting order now would be kind of silly as there's a whole bunch of substitutions. It's 5, 6, 7 due up for Beal City, but we'll see who that is together when we come back for the bottom of the third inning. 13-2 our score. Beal City with the lead here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this as we hear from some of our fantastic sponsors that make it possible for us to be here to bring you this action. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 13-2 is the score as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Heading up to bat for the Beal City Aggies is going to be, it's number 0 out there, and I don't have number 0 on my roster here, and so it's going to be Mr. Drew Gross stepping up to the plate. See, Drew Gross, another all-sports star for the Aggie team. Doesn't matter, football field, basketball court, or the baseball diamond. He's going to be able to make it happen. And what he did from his guard position and linebacker or defensive line position in the playoff run that Beal City had was pretty darn amazing. And then you consider he is just a sophomore. Pretty darn special stuff. So it'll be Drew Gross leading off the inning here for Beal City. And then I'll make the joke that it would have been Cole Tillman and Will McClintock coming up, but we'll see that batting order together now as Brad Ancliffe makes a whole bunch of changes. So the Aggies got that big lead. One thing you know, knowing Gross from football season, that if he gets a hold of one, it's got a chance to go a long, long way. Back on the mound is Owen Barnes for Roscommon. 13-2 the score. The Aggies technically need to put up a 5 spot here. You got to be leading by 15 runs after 3 innings, by 10 runs after 5 innings. Gross batting from the right side, couple big practice swings, stands up, kind of a pretty straight up stance. Barnes winds and deals. That one's going to miss outside. Bottom of the third inning, the Aggies lead it 13-2. Not to be outdone was the Beal City softball team. Their second game has probably already started. They won the first one 21-1. There was a total of 29 runs scored in the first inning when you combine Beal City softball and baseball in game number 1 versus Roscommon. This one is roped towards short. A fantastic play at short, but it's going to be dropped at first base. I tell you what, not very often are you going to give teammates a whole lot of crap, but if you're Zybel, you just made a really nice play on that. And it's dropped at first base, and I'm going to give Gross credit for the single there. If that's an error on somebody, it's going to be an error on the youngster over that first base. Here comes Wesley Higgins now to the plate. Gross, big lead over at first base. He is definitely a threat to take second base, and he's going to be going on the first pitch. Throw down will not be in time. Standing up with the steal is Drew Gross. And that one wasn't controversial like Cole Tillman's stand-up steal earlier. It was a close play. He made it there easily. 13-2 the score now after the swinging strike from Higgins, but I think he was swinging at that one no matter what. Try and give Gross a couple extra seconds. They look to check that runner. It's actually going to hit Gross. It's going to bounce away, and now he's going to be able to take third base. And if they throw it over to third, it won't be an easy play. Takes it easily. They throw it to the mound. So Gross, with some great base running after the single, has moved up to third base. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Stepping back in, batting on the right side is Wes Higgins. Barnes kind of checks the defense behind him before he steps back on top of the rubber. Higgins digs back in. 13-2 the score. Gross with that lead over at third. This one's going to be hit towards the outfield. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to be an RBI single for Wes Higgins. Coming around to score is Drew Gross after his single, and the first 2 batters have reached. One has already come around to score on some nice base running for Beal City. Now here comes Mr. Parker Sienkiewicz to the plate. Sienkiewicz taking over first base for Will McClintock. 14-2 is the score. Sienkiewicz swings at that one, but again, I think it's to protect that runner going down to second base. Kind of bounces to Zybel, so sliding in safely is going to be Higgins. Yet another stolen base for Beal City. They've got 14 runs on the board. They don't have, I think, 14 stolen bases, but they're probably nearing double digits now here in the bottom of the third inning. 14-2 the count. Sienkiewicz steps back in, batting from the left side. Higgins with a solid lead out at second base. That one's going to miss outside. 1-1 now the count to Parker Sienkiewicz. On deck now for the Aggies is Caleb Leonard. That one's going to bounce in there. It's going to get away from the catcher. That's going to allow Higgins to take third base. And so a great start to the inning if you're Beal City. Pair of hits. You've already manufactured a run. You got another runner at third base. And taking a little bit of time behind the plate now is Jack Patchen. May have got some dust in his eyes out there. You get some saline solution for him. Ancliffe out there. Some trainer out there. Make sure everything is good to go. Sienkiewicz getting a little bit of instruction as well. Score is 14-2. We're in the bottom of the third inning. It's been all Beal City. They put up a 10 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the second. I already have one across here in the third. There's still nobody out. Roscommon did battle back a little bit in the third inning after Blake Walcott came out. Scarborough was solid. A couple errors in the field, a couple singles allowed, a couple runs to come across for Roscommon. 14-2 is the score. Patchen is a lot tougher than I am. He's ready to go behind the plate. Count 2-1 to Parker Sienkiewicz. That runner at third base is Wes Higgins. And on deck is Leonard for Beal City. Sienkiewicz steps back in, batting from the left side. He's going to send this one hot shot foul down the first baseline. That'll run the count to 1-2 to Sienkiewicz. Or pardon me, 2-2. Third inning started off with Drew Gross singling. Kind of hit it hard to short. It was a good play at shortstop. Again, if I can't make the play, I'm not going to rule it an error, but it could have been an error over there at first base. He's still second and third, then an RBI single from Wes Higgins. He's moved up to third base now. Here comes the 2-2 to Sienkiewicz. That's going to miss low and outside. 3-2 now the count. 3 more runs come across here in this inning for Beal City. They make it 17-2. That's how they could walk it off here in the third inning. Comes the next pitch from Barnes. That one's going to bounce in there. Actually, it's Mays now on the mound as well now, too. Pardon me. Very similar pitching motion to Barnes, I will say. Sienkiewicz takes the walk. Now runners at the corners for Beal City. Nobody out for Caleb Leonard. Steps in batting from the right side. On deck for Beal City as well as Noel Tyson. First pitch swinging. It's going to be fouled back by Leonard. Runners at the corners. Already 1 run across here in the bottom of the third inning. The Beal City boys lead it 14-2. They're 6-4 on the year. They are back-to-back state champions. And they have won the Highland Conference for 20-some years in a row, looking to keep that going. They're undefeated in conference play at 4-0. This win here would move them to 5-0. Second pitch to Leonard. That one's going to miss high. 1-1 now the count. Leonard digs back in. That one's going to bounce in there. Nice job by Patchen keeping it in front of him. 2-1 now the count to Leonard. Mays ready on the hill again. Winds and deals. That one's going to go way over the catcher's head. That will allow Sienkiewicz to take second base, but it was so over the head. Patchen was back quickly. A nice move by Higgins and Coach Ancliffe over there to hold him up. And I think what Coach Ancliffe is saying is the way things are going right now, if we don't got another opportunity to bring you in, I don't think we deserve to score it. It's 14-2 here in the bottom of the third. 3-1 the count to Leonard. Imagine he's going to be taken all the way on this one. He will not be as he ropes one out to center field. Again, that wind makes it tough. It gets over the head. We'll see if Leonard can turn on the Jets. If he does, can he walk it off? He's going to get held up at third base. It is now 16-2. Leonard with a 2 RBI triple. And if you're Coach Ancliffe, this is what you love to see. You sub every one of your starters out, and the offense continues to roll, putting up 3 in the second, now 3 here in the third, and are 1 run away from claiming victory here in 3 innings. Noel Tyson at the plate. Pretty much a grounder here will score Leonard from third, and I don't really see the infield playing in for Roscommon either. Tyson sends this one down the third baseline foul. Again, Leonard over there at third base. He crosses home plate. That'll do it here in game number 1 with Beal City and Roscommon. 16-2 is the score right now. The Aggies looking for that 3-inning mercy. That one's going to bounce in there. 1-1 now the count. Your Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up. Talk about our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game. This might have to be that whole first inning that the Aggies had offensively. It was just unbelievable. It's going to be tough to single somebody out today. 2-1 the count. Tyson stepped back in, batting from the left side, wearing number 42. That one he's going to take inside. 3-1 the count. On deck is Jake Upton, lined out to short when he batted for Mr. McKinney, replacing him. Here comes the 3-1 for Mays. It's going to be hit down the first baseline. It'll go foul. That would have ended it right there for Tyson. (16-2) is the score. The count is now full. The game-winning run 90 feet away for Beal City as Tyson steps back in. You want to be patient if you're Tyson, but also a chance to end the game. Got to make you want to swing the bat a little bit more here. That one will be a called third strike on the outside corner. Patchen did a good job framing it despite kind of dropping it a bit, but that'll be a strikeout for the first out of the inning. That'll bring Jake Upton back to the plate for Beal City with a chance to end it here. After him is Jordan Weber. 16-2 is the score. Leonard, the game-winning run at third base. Roscommon trying to give themselves another half inning at the plate here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Upton steps back out. That one's going to bounce in there. Patchen just keeps it in front of him. Great play at the plate from Patchen. 1-1 the count. 1 out. Bottom third. The Aggies 1 run away from winning it here in 3. Next throw is going to miss outside. 2-1 now the count. Jordan Weber on deck. He walked and scored in the second inning on a 3 RBI double from Scarborough. This one will be fouled off. 2-2 now the count to Upton. Mays ready to wind and deal on the mound. And runner at third base is the game-winning run for Beal City. That one's going to bounce in there. Gets away from Patchen, but stays in there. Stepping back in is Upton. Bat from the right side. Awaits the pitch from Mays. That one's going to be smashed towards third base. Not an easy play down the third baseline in foul territory. The catch is made by Barnes in foul territory. So big pop out there. And so if you're Roscommon, might have another chance at the dish here. And they put up 2 runs in the third. See if they can maybe do something in the fourth. But before that happens, they got to stop Jordan Weber. Weber steps up to the plate. Mays winds and deals. That first one's going to be low for ball 1. And Weber walked, came around to score in the second inning after replacing Mr. Kyler Smith. This one's going to be hit towards third, and not an easy play. It's going to be a long throw over to first base. They will make it in time for the out, and so we will head to inning number 4. 16-2 is the score. Due up is going to be Sawyer Griffiths, Jack Patchen, and Brendan Gilliam here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 317-5536. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Top of the fourth inning, Beal City leads at 16-2, but if you're Roscommon, you've kept yourself in this game. You've given yourself a chance to step up to the plate again, which, let's be real, that's the most fun thing about baseball is being able to step up and trying to swing away. It does look like we got some substitutions now coming in for Roscommon as well. James Phillips is now stepping up to the plate, hitting for Sawyer Griffiths. I'm surprised to see Griffiths come out of the lineup. He did strike out his first time up. First pitch from Scarborough is going to miss. And it'll be Jack Patchen on deck. Big swing and a miss there that time from Phillips. 1-1 now the count for Scarborough. Scarborough struck out 2 in that last inning. There was a couple of errors out there. I don't know if either of the runs he gave up necessarily would have been earned. But if you are Coach Ancliffe, kind of love for the sophomore to be able to come out here and battle a little bit more in this ball game. That one's over for a strike. 1-2 now the count. Scarborough on the bump, winds and deals. Looks to get that curveball to break back over the zone. It won't. Phillips isn't chasing either. 2-2 now the count. And combined with softball, the Aggie baseball team put up 10 in the first inning. Softball put up 19, and so 29 combined runs in the first inning here for Beal City, as the softball team has already taken out Roscommon once. They've already got 2 runs on the board in the first. In their second game, Beal City looking to close this one out possibly in 4 here. They lead at 16-2. 3-2 the count for Scarborough. This one's going to be lined in between short and third for a base hit for James Phillips. You talk about just a where to hit it ball right there. That was perfectly in between third and short. Not really anything Smith or Upton or Weber could do with it. A base hit for Roscommon. Now stepping up to the plate is Patchen, who walked and came around to score in the third inning. Scarborough checks that runner at first. Winds and deals. It's in there for a low strike. On deck is Brendan Gilliam. Right now at the plate, Patchen behind the count, 0-1. Scarborough gets a swing and a miss that time, 0-2 now the count. Scarborough steps back to the top of the circle. Ready with the 0-2. That one's going to bend back over. It's going to get away from McDonald. They look to take second. They won't take second base. And I guess maybe the decision there from James Phillips and the coaching staff is, well, we're down 16-2. We just can't get any outs. We got to have everybody reach base. That might ultimately be a good decision, and maybe Phillips isn't fleet of foot over there at first base either. Here comes a 1-2. Hit hard towards third. Nice play from Upton. They could possibly turn 2 here. They get 1, looking for 2. It's not in time. It'll squirt away from Sienkiewicz as he couldn't dig it out of the dirt. But you do get the lead runner on the fielder's choice if you're Beal City. Brendan Gilliam stepping up to the plate. He faced Scarborough last inning and struck out. 1 out, top 4. Aggies lead at 16-2 against Roscommon here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network from our Barberry Law Studios. More love to our friends, Woods Household Appliance, Weefridge Financial, sponsor of our Zaid Batchelder Baller of the game. It's going to be a really tough decision in this one. Also love to Clark Modular Homes, our friends at the Bird All-American Grill, Beal's Custom Fab, and Gates Drilling and Service. Check the runner. Here comes the next pitch. Just going to miss on that outside corner for Scarborough. 2-0 now the count to Gilliam. And more love going out to our friends at Rick's Food Center, almost up north in Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, Bo Guibanga and Bradley, WW Construction, the Fisher Companies, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt, and Fisher Transportation, along with Kenneth Egger, DDS. Bender swinging a miss that time for Gilliam. The count now 2-1. One out here in the top of the fourth inning. The Aggies lead at 16-2. They can hold down Roscommon here in this half inning. They might only need to get one run in their half. And with the way they've scored runs in this one, it'd be very possible. 10 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. But they gave up 2 in the third to this Roscommon team. That is why we're still playing baseball right now. That one is over for a strike. 3-2 now the count to Gilliam. And a very short lead for Patchen over at first base. Strike 3. Scarborough gets him for the second time on strikes, and that is Scarborough's third strikeout. Here comes Van Acker. He struck out last inning against Scarborough. So now 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. 16-2 advantage for Beal City. Coming up next for the Aggies, it'll be Scarborough, McDonald, and Drew Gross. That one's right down the middle for a strike to Brett Van Acker. Actually, Van Acker is now being pinch hit for. So we've gone from number 15 to number 11. Now out there batting is Gavin Soder for the Bucks. Batting from the left side. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 now the count. Scarborough would love to get another punch out here. End up having 4-2. Wines, deals, just going to miss. 1-2 now the count. So if the Aggies don't score anything in the fourth, it could end in 5. As you've heard me say, it's 15 runs through 3, 10 runs after 5 will end it. 2-2 now the count. That one will squirt away to allow Patchen to take second base. And again, I like the decision by McDonald. Got too far away from him to try and make that throw down to second base, and you're up by a lot. No need to try and make the crazy play. Here comes a 2-2 from Scarborough. That one's just going to stay high. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Back to the top of the order after this. Scarborough looking for strike 3. It's going to be in the dirt. It's going to miss. That'll be ball 4. Taking the base is Soder. And so now you have a pair of runners on. You're back to the leadoff man with Jacob Zybel. He's technically 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout and a walk. He did score a run after the walk in inning number 3. Pair of runners on. Zybel fouls this one off. We're here in the top of the fourth inning. The Aggies have been all over Roscommon at the plate at 16-2, but the Roscommon bats have awoke a little bit here in inning number 3 and 4. They put up 2 in the third. They now have 2 runners on with their leadoff man at the plate with 2 outs. Scarborough can't get that one to break over the zone. 1-1 now the count to Zybel. As I look over at the softball score, the Lady Aggies doing it again in game number 2. They're up 7-0 in the first inning. Here comes the 1-1 from Scarborough. It's going to be hit not very hard towards first. Scarborough looks to get it in time for the out to first base. Fantastic play by Scarborough to be able to make that happen. That was not an easy play as I just ground out to the pitcher there. Kind of bounced off of him. He had to stay with it. Then had to use that old pitching arm to get it over to first in time for the out. 16-2 is the score as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Aggies just need 1 run to wrap this up in 4. We'll keep it right here. Thanks some more of our great sponsors like J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, GNS Mechanical, along with our friends Bryce Up the Craft and Joe Wentworth, Pradum Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Martinez Lawn Care and JJ Painting, Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, Block Electric, The Diner, All Seasons Fireworks, Bryant Family Farms, Pier Plumbing, Isabella Bank, and Hanging by a Thread. Think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial, our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. It's tough. You got Elias with a 2 RBI single. You've got Gary Zucker with a 2 RBI triple. But the top of the order, 1-2, Owen McKinney and Kyler Smith, they combined for 4 runs in the first inning. Started off with McKinney singling, coming around to score. Kyler Smith was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Then McKinney walked and came around to score. Then Kyler Smith had a 2 RBI double. So that's going to be the front runners. We'll give it to the pair there, McKinney and Smith at the top of the order. Technically going 2 for 2 with 4 runs scored and a couple RBI for Kyler Smith. Looks like it's going to be Mays back out on the mound for Roscommon. And you talk about a difficult situation for a pitcher. You come in down big saying, hey, well, you can't give up a single thing. Well, here we go. And Mays did keep the game from ending in the third inning. You had the game-winning run at third base and Caleb Leonard, and ultimately Mays was able to get out of it. But now the Aggies just need 1 run to come across here, and Cooper Scarborough will be leading things off for Beal City. Hitting behind him will be Hunter McDonald, and then it's Drew Gross. But again, we could see another substitution or 2 out there if you're Beal City as well with this big lead. 16-2 the score. Mays is ready on the mound. Scarborough set to check back in to the dish. Mays with a warm-up and a wild throw out the second base there. I'm trying to see if that's Patchen still behind the plate, because that didn't look like a Patchen throw that we've seen in this game. But here we go. The Aggies need 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th inning to try and close this one out. At the plate, Scooper Scarborough. I was going to say Scooper Carborough. That would have been kind of a goofy one there. But 16-2 is the score. Scarborough steps back to the dish, batting from the right side. He had a 3 RBI double in his only at-bat. That one's going to miss to the outside. I hear some more cheering coming from the softball field. Now 10-0 over on the softball diamond. Boy, the Aggies softball team, talking with Coach Jake Johnston before the season, he just kind of laughed at me and he said, man, I don't know what else to say other than I have a murderer's row lineup, and that is what it is. They played Division I Zeeland yesterday and split with them. They're a really, really strong program. That one's also going to miss to Scarborough. 3-0 now the count. Scarborough steps back in. Mays ready. Winds and deals. That one's going to be popped out towards left field. Again, with the wind, with the sun, it's not an easy play, but the catch will be made. A nice charge there from Scarborough. When you hit it hard, sometimes it still comes down to luck. You just can't hit it at anybody. Hunter McDonald now stepping up to the plate. He replaced Eric Elias in the lineup. He struck out his first time up. Behind him will be Drew Gross and then Wes Higgins. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Beal City scores 1 here. That could wrap it up. But if they don't score 1 here, we come back out for the 5th inning. You're going to need at least 5 across the board for Roscommon to keep this game going. This one's hit hard towards third. It's going to kind of eat up the third baseman. It's going to be a single for Mr. Hunter McDonald. And McDonald not looking down to third base at all. He kind of turned there still and was ready to go. Drew Gross stepping back in. One of the gap here with the speed of McDonald could definitely score him, and we'll see if they have McDonald take second base, as most base runners have for Beal City. They do hold the runner on there over at first base, but McDonald still with a big old lead. It's going to bounce in there. He's going to dive back safely. If that doesn't bounce in there, McDonald might have got caught on that one. But he gets back in time, but he had a big, big lead over there. Gross back at the plate. He singled, stole a base, came around to score his only plate appearance. Sends this one down third base, foul, 0-1 the count to the all-sports star, Mr. Drew Gross. Playing in center field, replaced Gary Zucker. Zucker had a 2 RBI triple in the first inning. Struck out his other time up. Gross steps back in, wearing number 0, 0-1 the count. Hunter McDonald the Mercy game-winning run at first base. He's going to take second base. They're not going to throw it down. So an easy steal there for Mr. McDonald. Now if you're Drew Gross, you drive one to the outfield here and it's not caught. McDonald will be able to score to win the game. Gross steps back in, hitting from the right side, kind of digging in the dirt a little bit. Mays ready. He winds and deals. That's going to be in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. Gross looks down the third base sign. Coach Ancliffe. Get the sign, get the signal. Now he steps back in. Looking to check McDonald over at second. It's going to get away and get into the outfield. They're going to hold him up at third. And it's a nice throw in from third. Now it squirts away from third, but Hunter McDonald will hold up there. So now if you're Drew Gross, just even a chopper of a ground ball here with that speed of McDonald could score the game-winning run. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Aggies lead it by 14. They get it to 15. That'll do it. And they got to do a little digging over there at third base. Gets room to get the base back down. Hunter McDonald, that power slide, kind of took the base out a little bit. More love going out to their friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Jen Verliger and the crew, they're hiring bus drivers. Those bus drivers, they get paid training, full benefits. Go to mtpleasantschools.net to get started. 2-1 the count as Gross steps back in. That game-winning run just 90 feet away. That one's going to get away from Gross. Coming in to score is going to be Hunter McDonald. It's a close play at the plate, but it bounces up there. McDonald is in for the game-winning run. And that will do it. 17-2 is our final. Beal City a winner over Roscommon as the Bats explode for 10 runs in the first inning. Then it's 3-3, and just they needed one here to end it in the fourth inning. The Beal City Aggies a winner, 17-2 over Roscommon. We'll be back with our Bird All-American Grill postgame show to put a bow on this one. All right, after the
Elevate your banking experience. Isabella Bank is your local banking partner. We understand the importance of personalized service, providing solutions that fit your unique needs. When you bank with us, together we can drive positive change and build stronger communities. Experience banking redefined. Make the switch today and experience banking that goes beyond. Isabella Bank. Local. Growing. Staying. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Bryant Family Farms would like to wish everyone good luck on the field and on the court. Bryant Family Farms offers maple syrup, mums, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh cut flowers. With you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome on into our Bird All-American Grill post-game show as we put a bow on this one. 17-2, the Aggies victorious over Roscommon. As I look over at the softball field one more time, the Aggie girls lead that one 10-0, I think, in the top of the first inning still over there. Well, you think about our Bill's custom fabrication of the game, kind of goes along with our Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, the Mumford Oil and Gas Supply and Gates Drilling Service drive of the game. It's going to go out to that whole first inning because the Aggies put up a 10 spot in the first. Let's go through. You had a 2 RBI single from Elias, a 2 RBI triple from Zucker, an RBI single from Bouchon, a 2 RBI double from Kyler Smith, all in that first inning. So they're going to get the accolades for that. But our Weefrich Financial Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, going to the pair at third base and shortstop at the start of the game. Owen McKinney and Kyler Smith combined for 4 runs in the first inning. That's just something As long as I do baseball, I don't know if I'll ever see that again. The number 1, the number 2 hitters coming away with 4 runs in 1 inning. 17-2 our final here. We could have some Shepard Harrison coming up later this week. We will let you know about that. Facebook, YouTube, the Instagram, and all that. Chris